Okay. So, sorry about that. Back to a quick version of what I'm saying. So today we're going to be doing a review over 11, 12, and 13. Wednesday is for the makeup day for the people who haven't done their speeches. If you have done your speech, then you don't need to show up that day, and it will be, in person in the classroom. Friday, test on chapters 11, 12, and 13, and that'll be online in the Blackboard content section. Next week will be informative speeches on Monday and Wednesday. I'll try to have the sheet as to who goes on what days. I'll post that today. So let's get to chapter 11. Let's see. And I'm also looking at my notes here to make sure I cover everything that I intend to cover for this review. So that's why you'll probably see me looking down a bit. So first things first, characteristics of an effective outline. Just to make sure, can you guys, I'm assuming you guys can hear me just fine. So if you are, at least say something in the little chat to let me know that that everything's fine. Because as you can tell, this is not the normal setup that I use for having class. So I'd appreciate that. Anyway, so this is, where I would get some feedback from you, asking you, okay, what are some of the most essential parts or the characteristics of an effective outline? So on the review sheet, in parentheses, it'll say hybrid version. So that's the version that, that's the version that we want, because that has the extra stuff. So it's not this version, but when it says hybrid, and you'll see that the little this here as well. So characteristics, of course, the introduction, the attention getter, kind of, or like the wow statement, the thing that gets your audience involved or interested in what you're speaking. And it's more than just walking out and saying, hey, I'm going to talk about this, but it's actually you showing them something or demonstrating something for them that that lets them know that that can capture their attention in another way that's not so straightforward. Orienting material, things that they may need to know in order to understand your speech. It may be a word that that is centers around, or maybe some backstory. So if moving on to relevance, if it's relevance, then let them know. Your central idea statement, it's kind of like my goal is to tell you about this, and I will do it by listing blank, blank, and blank. So, and yes, that is like the preview of your speech. Body, your main points and your supporting points for those main points, and your conclusion usually consists of a summary statement of all your main points, and like a clincher or a wow statement. So that's the I guess the quick version of it. So I will show you a few more things to make sure that there's nothing that I accidentally missed on this. Let's see, attention getter. Yeah. Also explains concepts or words. So if people don't know what you're talking about, then it's going to be harder for them to follow. Let's see. Was there? And we'll go a little bit more of the central idea statement in just a moment. Let's see, is there anything else I want to talk to specific? For the conclusion, yes, you can signal the end of your speech, also recapping your main points. So in this speech, I'll talk to you about, the person, place, and thing that made me who I am. Audience response, that's of course optional. That's like, okay, I'm going to pass around this sheet and you can sign up for our email blast or whatever. That wow statement or clincher, that thing that your last Hail Mary pass to get the people who are listening to, really be to really be concerned and to care about whatever it is that you're talking about. All right. So let's see. I'm going to go over that central idea statement. So know these characteristics and like the order that they come in, and also just what they are. So it'd be easier. I try to explain these things because it's kind of easier to remember things if you understand them rather than just blindly remembering something. So let's go to your central idea statement. So let's see. So the three main parts of your central idea statement, that would be your goal, your topic, and your method of development. So in the sample one that I have, the goal is to, this is a showing that goal is to inform, and the topic is talking about how video games becoming more social. Method of development by listing and explaining, the effects of online gaming, multiplayer only games, online, so it's devoted to yada, yada, yada. So that'd be those three elements of the goal, topic, and method of development. So goal can be inform, persuade, and retain. Topic, you want, you don't want your topic to be too broad, or else you're just going to be missing out on a bunch of stuff. Your method of development, you can say either I'm going to do it by listing or by describing. Oh, wait, let me show you. There's some words in writing the central idea statement that if you want to use these, you can. So for informative, you can say by explaining or by demonstrating or by analyzing. For persuasive, you want people to, to serve, to vote for, to support, or to agree with. So those are some of the statements that you may, need to borrow next time you're writing a central idea statement. Let's see. Is there? Just double checking to make sure I've touched all the topics that I want to touch on. Central idea statement. Okay. So next up, we're going to have. All right. So the next thing that we're going to have is the organizational strategies for creating your speech. So that would be some of these. So the topical, the chronological, the spatial, the causal, comparative, problem solution, and Monroe's motivated sequence. So for this, I was going to say, let's just go through these. So topical, that would be when going from one topic to another, or when there's a strong division of points, such as if you're talking about, maybe the best fruits, and maybe you have like apples, oranges, and coconuts, and you may pick these based on which ones get consumed the most, whether it's apples or oranges or coconuts, or maybe which ones have the best medical benefits for the person who eats them. So that would be topical. Let's see. For chronological, there's is based on just telling sorting your points in the order in which they naturally occur. So if you're doing something on maybe like how to make scrambled eggs, you're going to start with you're not going to start with stirring the scrambled eggs. No, you're going to talk about maybe cracking the egg, or how to tell if the egg, before you even open it, to tell if the egg might have gone bad. So spatial, so that goes with it starts at a geographic pattern But yeah, it goes left to right, up to down, clockwise, counterclockwise. So like if I was going to do if you were going to say describe somebody, and you start from the top of their head, the hair, forehead, I don't know, eyebrows, glasses, eyes, nose, facial hair, maybe lips, chin, or jaw, whatever. That would be going from top to bottom. That would be discussing, maybe describing someone using spatial organization strategy. So this was example of talking about, if I was going to talk about like the history of different buildings under APB, and I decided to go in a clockwise motion. So causal, or cause and effect. So that one's usually talking about things that things that lead to something. So maybe advertising on social media that you're going to be out of town, telling people where you live, showing people, oh, this great new flat screen, and the effect of, oh, somebody broke in and took my flat screen, or took my this, or took my that. So that would kind of be like the cause and effect. So and with causal, it can also go backwards. So it can go from, okay, this is what happened, and these are some of the things that led to it. So with that train wreck that happened recently, they had the toxic chemicals, it's kind of gone that way, where you heard about the accident, and then you hear about, oh, the brakes and the this and the that. So anyway, that'd be causal. Comparative, you've done compare and contrast. So for this one, you want to have things that are, you can't be comparing things that are just completely different. So you can't be comparing, I don't know, Michael Jordan and I don't know, a light bulb. So they can't be just radically different when you compare. How are these things similar, or how are they different? So with a problem solution, organizational strategy, yeah, it can goes with stating the problem and maybe some of the causes of that problem, and going with possible solutions and picking the solution. So it could be that like that, or it could be more simpler, where it's, okay, these are the problems, and this is a solution. Or it could just go with, this is a problem, these are possible solutions. So I may not go into the cost. So anyway, that can there's a lot to pick and choose from the problem solution way of organization. Now, problem solution is similar to Monroe's motivated sequence, in the fact that Monroe's motivated sequence is a problem solution strategy. However, one of the key things about it is that it takes into consideration what your audience, or what the group, sorry about that, what the audience, or what the group, what they're willing to accept. So I know this is a terrible example, but if there was a horror movie series called Saw, which came out, I don't know, about 20 years ago, maybe 18 years ago. And in one of the first ones, and I know this is a terrible example, but this just sticks out in my mind, was the killer, or the main bad guy, has these guys locked up in a bathroom or some abandoned place, and their ankles are shackled, and they have a saw, and the premises isn't the saw is for the chains. The saw is actually for those people to harm themselves in order to get out of that situation. So that'd be kind of an extreme example of, okay, this is the problem, this possible solutions, whatever. I'm not going to go into too much detail, because I already feel like I've gone into too much detail. And yeah, let's just be honest, we don't need to be watching, Saw and Oral Communications. So anyway, but let's just say maybe getting better sleep, okay? Or maybe in order to get that 6 hours of sleep that we all get, or 8 hours of sleep that we all get, maybe there's a problem where someone isn't getting that, and what the solution could be something like, I don't know, playing some type of annoying song over and over again the whole time, because the solution is like going out, being irritated when going to sleep is will help have, yield better sleep results. Okay, so that's the attention. Okay, not getting enough sleep would be the attention. Getting needs to get more sleep, and how are we going to solve this? So satisfaction step is proposing playing the horrible music the entire time, so that the person gets the sleep they need. Visualization is waking up after having that 8 hours of sleep, and how well you function, and how you're not yawning at 4:55 in the afternoon, and just the other benefits of getting that 8 hours of sleep. And the action step of telling them, okay, what do I need to do? Well, first you need to go to this particular store, or go to this particular online shop and buy this particular song. Maybe you need a special player in order to get it, and tell your loved ones to wear earplugs or whatever when when it's time for you to go to bed. I don't know, but anyway, that'd be kind of like going through the Monroe's motivated sequence. Um, okay, so let's see. Anything else I wanted to make sure I touched on chapter 11? Nope. All right, so gonna go over to chapter 12 now. Oh, you know what? Since we did chapter 12 so recently, I'm gonna start with chapter 13, and then we'll go to chapter 12. So. All right, so hold on, let me adjust this. I don't think this looks how I want it to look. Nope, it does not. Oh, did anyone have any questions on chapter 11? I'm gonna exit out of my chapter 11 PowerPoint window just in case, well, unless someone has a problem. Okay. Let me just. All right, so so chapter 12. Oh wait, no, we were on chapter 13. So first of all, some key things about informative speaking. So it's, giving your audience new knowledge, skills, understanding on a topic. Increases their knowledge. So if it's not doing that, then are you doing informative speaking? Let's go over some of the different types of informative speaking. So there's describing maybe the features, of an animal, or maybe you're talking about the features of maybe I don't know, one video game system compared to another, or it could be maybe oh I was trying to think. Maybe describing I think I did phones, animals, maybe describing the features of the new 2024 Honda Civic. Um, just describing and listing the significant features of whatever it may be. Also instructing, kind of like telling how to do something or how something is done. Let's see, explaining. This would be if you're dealing with some kind of concept or issue. I think one time in class we talked about the electoral college and how it mattered, how those points matter more than how many people actually voted for, say, a presidential candidate, or uh, maybe just understanding, um, hmm, maybe something about the immigration process. So that'd be, people think, oh, well, you do this and you take this test and you raise your hand and you say the oath and then you're good. Well, there may be more to it. So anyway, in the speech to report, uh, kind of like going over something that already happened and letting people know, okay, this went well, this did not. So that would be, uh, yeah, I'm sorry, this might be important. Hello? Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So where was I? Speech to report. So if maybe there was a fund drive, or maybe I don't know, a mass intervention, going over what things worked and how what was effective, what was not, all that kind of stuff. And to go into more detail about that, oh, I got my chapter 12. I think I need to have this up here. Okay, so let's see. Talked about, well, they're talking about places or maybe key features of, of I don't know, the UAPB bell tower. Also describing, say, events like, say, homecoming, all the key uh features of it. I'm sorry, I hope this is better. I will not be answering any more uh phone numbers that I do not know during class. I apologize because I, thought it might be important, but apparently it's not. So, where was I? So, so homecoming. So describing maybe key features or key events of homecoming, such as step shows, parade, homecoming game, um, yeah, other stuff. Oh, the food. Yeah, anyway, people coming from all over, whether they don't, didn't go to UAPB or not, just some key, components of that event. Let's see. Um, yeah, so I think you got the other stuff, talking about, how to do something for instruction, explaining maybe something that people may think they understand, but they may not. Reporting, just telling the results or findings of something. Let's see. Oh, so and finally, developing the informative topic. Make sure I touch on everything. Okay, so one of the key things is just getting to know your audience and the situation. So when you're developing that topic, so when you are developing that speech or that topic, knowing how your audience will uh, think about it, or just knowing what do they know about that particular issue. So what do they know about that particular issue? Because you may have to end up explaining some things to them. Also, maybe there's something going on around that same time that something going on around that time that people need to know about. And I mean, not that they need to know about, but it may be like the elephant in the room. So it may need to be addressed, within that speech. So attitudes, what do they know? What do they need to know? Oh, and of course, why are they there? So uh, depending on if they are there by choice or being forced to be there, or they're just for some type of for one particular topic to be discussed. That'd be something that you want to take into consideration. And with narrowing your informative topic, yeah, you don't want to have anything too broad, because if you do, then you just get like surface level information. Also, you get a lot of surface level information. So if you look up some broad topic, you're going to get hundreds of results. But if you make it more specific, you may only get like, I don't know, 10. So if you're researching, then it's easier. Well, when you are researching, it's easier to have something very specific, so that way you don't have to waste time on a whole bunch of other different things that you don't need. So that be it for chapter 13. Now we're going to go to chapter 12. Let me stop sharing. Okay. And this, and here we go. All right. Thank you for sticking with me. We're almost done. Last one, not too many points. So okay. So just want to make sure. All right. So key thing we're going to talk about, and looking at the review sheet, the differences between oral and written style. So get very familiar with this chart here. Oh wait, this chart here. And I'm gonna say, what can I? Oh, anyway, with this chart here, and also have an idea of what these mean. So informal language, so that'd be like, say, contractions. Okay, in formal language, you're not supposed to be using contractions. You're not gonna say start off with like to whom it may concern and all that. And in instances where you say, oh, he gave the pen to whom, nah, that's more formal. Informal, you can get away with that a little bit. Animated language, so those when we talked about like the metaphors, the similes, the tropes, the alliteration, uh kind of like making the language a bit more memorable, and nicer and catchier to hear. Kind of like saying someone was hungry as a horse, or the person had ice water in their veins, referring to the calmness that they had. That's more of the animated language versus technical language, saying that the person was was not bothered by the stress of the situation. So simple sentence structure, you want that because you're actually saying this, and yes, you're not memorizing it, but you don't want to have to be saying sentences that are very long, very complex, but have a lot of conjunctions, and because you don't want to run out of breath and have to take a big old during that sentence, but also you want people to understand what you're talking about. So you don't want to say, Johnny went to the store to get a gallon of water because such and such needed it because it gets hot and overheats, and which has been a problem since such and such because of, like, no, that's too much. So you can get away with that a little bit more with written style because people are reading it. They can actually just go back, I just go over and read it again in case they have some type of problem understanding it. But for oral style, people are basically hearing it and they're hearing it once. So you want to make sure that it's easy to understand. Oral style has personally tailored messages. And yes, you can write it, you've written a letter to somebody that is specifically for somebody, but delivering a speech and writing a letter to one person is a bit different. But also, just because you're doing it orally and you're talking to people who are in front of you, you can adjust things just based off the feedback that they give you, that those interactions. Maybe just like when you say something and you didn't think that they were going to disagree with you, but you hear some grumbles or whatever, then you realize, oh, okay, maybe I might need to adjust something or go into more detail explaining some particular issue. And hold on. So I'm going to adjust the slide. All right, so let's see if okay. So and also repetition and restatement. So kind of repeating the things that you want to drive home to your audience. So kind of like when we talked about saying what you're going to say in the introduction, saying it during the body, and saying it in the conclusion. That would be the repetition. And restatement, kind of like the audience, the attention getter or the clincher or the wow statement is a way of kind of like saying something in a different way, or trying to come at them come at your audience in a different way to get them to be on board or to sympathize with whatever it is that you're talking about. So with the detailed and complex thoughts, it's not like a lot of over and going back to the same thing over and over and over again. But in speaking, what was it? Oh, methods of delivery. So extemporaneous, that is the one that is our primary goal for this class. We want you to be, delivered a speech that you rehearsed, and not having to look down all the time, but just maybe get some key words of what you want to say. And also the extemporaneous ones allows you to adjust to the audience. You're making eye contact with them. You can see if they're confused, if they're angry, whatever. So yeah, it does allow for more flexibility. Manuscript, on the other hand, does not. You're locked into whatever that script says. And also you don't get to have as much eye contact with the audience. And it's easier to get tripped up because when you do try to look up, you may not look back down at the right spot, and then you have fumble around for a minute trying to find that spot. For memorized, this is one where, excuse me, you are you've got the whole speech to memory, so you may think, oh, I've got it memorized, I'm not going to be looking down. But you spend so much mental effort trying to say it word for word, and you may if you forget one thought or one specific segment, it may be even more difficult to recover to complete delivering that speech. Let's see, and impromptu for this one. This is where you have just a little bit of time to prepare. So the speeches that you do for this class are not impromptu. You'll have weeks to prepare. So But I'll say the easiest, one of the most um direct examples I would think about when I think of impromptu speaking is I think of the debate teams. I don't know if you know much about them, but uh, at their um, at their tournaments, they usually have, the way it tends to work. I haven't been on the debate team, but from what I've heard a lot about it, and that they get like a topic and they have to be, say, for the in the affirmative, so they have to be, pro whatever it is that they're talking about. They get a couple of moments to, to get their ideas together, and then they have to deliver it. So that's more impromptu. Some of you may be thinking about ad lib. Ad lib is not that. Ad lib is when you have zero time to prepare. So kind of like if somebody just asks you a question, tell me how you feel about, tell me 5 reasons why you support this particular thing, and then you just have to go. That's ad lib. Impromptu, no, that'd be like, okay, go over there, take some time, come back over here in 5 minutes and tell me what you got. So anyway, that is it for um yeah, that's it for our review. And yeah, just to restate what I said before. So review today, makeup speeches will be on Wednesday. If you've already given your speech, you don't have to show up for that. And Friday will be the 11, 12, 13 test on the uh, on Blackboard content section, and we start the informative speeches next week. So next Monday and Wednesday. So anyway, that is it. So anyone have any questions about anything? Okay, dope. All right. Well, I'll see you guys later. All right. And stop recording.